Hi, I'm Robin Bennett. I'm one of the directors here at Start Software, and I'm here today to give you a 10-minute introduction to Alpha Tracker, which is our software for asbestos and environmental consultancies. So what exactly is Alpha Tracker? Well, it's web-based. As you can see here, it runs in a web browser. You can operate the system from any web device, such as a tablet or a laptop, and it's designed to improve the efficiency of any asbestos or environmental consultancy. It needs to run on a server. The server can be your own server, or it could be a cloud server, which is what most people use these days. It's available from anywhere, so it's available from your office, from home, even when you're out and about, because it just runs across the internet and can be accessed from any internet connected device. What I'm going to do in the next 10 minutes or so is quickly run through the scope of the software to show you exactly what it does. Then very briefly I'm going to run through the 6 steps that you need to take to generate an asbestos survey report so you can see how quick and easy it is. Before I do that, I'm just going to briefly tell you who we are at Start Software. We've been specialising in asbestos software since 2006. We're ISO 9001 accredited, and our software has won awards. We have offices in Australia and the UK, and we're very fortunate that we supply our systems to hundreds of consultancies, including the very largest asbestos consultancies operating worldwide. We have 24/7 support, and I think we're the only company in this market to do that. So that means you can phone us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, always getting through to a person, no machines, no queuing system, and our support services are something that we're very, very proud of. So let's have a look back at Alpha Tracker and the scope of the system. Here on the left hand side you can see the menus, and this is what I'll use to run through the scope. But as you can see, when you log in you get a dashboard, and the dashboard is appropriate to the type of user that you are. So I've logged in as a director here to our demo system, so I'm seeing dashboards that relate to how many projects there are each month and the total value and the split of work. If I logged in as somebody in the lab, I'd perhaps see the samples that required analysing. If I logged in as an admin person in the business, I might see the survey reports that need generating. So you get a dashboard when you log in, which is a nice instant view of what you should be looking at today. Down the left hand side, as I mentioned, we've got the menus. This gives you an idea of the scope of the system. So it goes from first contact with the customer, through generating quotes and inquiries, through booking work into the system. So these are our projects or our jobs. These, by the way, can be any type of asbestos or environmental consultancy work. So asbestos survey, re-inspection, project management, training, even other environmental tasks such as LEV work, noise, fire risk. Pretty much any type of work can be booked into Alpha Tracker. There's an inbuilt diary, which is really handy. So this is where you can schedule work for your staff, just dragging and dropping appointments on, which automatically sync with their smartphones and tablets. There's a timesheet facility in the system. There's a site database. If you have your own lab, you can do all of your lab work here in Alpha Tracker as well. You can manage longer term contracts, you can manage your suppliers, you can even generate invoices at the end of the process. So genuinely the system goes right from initial contact and quote through all of the work required in the middle through to generating the invoice. The invoices, by the way, can go across to Sage, and they can also go across to Xero and other account systems. Also available in the system is a means of extracting information, and this is really useful. This is where you can extract information such as how many surveys have I done between 2 dates or a particular client. You can compare the work of different field staff to see how they compare against each other. There are probably 100+ reports available, data extracts available, all of which can be downloaded into Excel to help you analyse the performance of your business. And then a couple of other things to show you here. The setup menu. Now this is really important. Our experience of developing software in this market, which is since 2006, has enabled us to build hundreds of settings into Alpha Tracker so that it can work in the way that you need it to. So pretty much anything in the system can be changed, and can be changed by you to suit your business. For example, here's a list of materials that surveyors might encounter when on site. You can change that list, add to it, delete it, change the terminology to suit your own business. You can even change how the actual types of asbestos are reported to include white, blue and brown, for example, in the names. You can change how you report non-asbestos items. Pretty much anything is configurable to suit your business. You have full control over who can log in, so you can assign logins, user IDs, passwords. And at the bottom of the menu here, we have a link through to our blog for the latest news, and we have the training guide, and we also have the user guide, both of which are PDFs, searchable, printable, and fully explain how the system works. If you're an accredited consultancy in your own country, then we also publish release notes every software update, which you can show your accreditation body, keep your quality manual in line with the software. And that's a very important thing to do. So there we go. So that's the scope of the system, start to finish, initial contact through to invoice, and that explains really what Alpha Tracker does. So here I'm going to now drop you through the 6 steps required to produce an asbestos survey and show you how straightforward that process can be. We call it the Survey Quick Start menu. It's what we use in our training sessions, and it explains from setting a customer up, booking the work in, doing the survey out on site, checking the data, putting the lab results in, and then producing the report. At this point, I'll just mention the report production process and what our report format looks like. We actually don't have a standard asbestos report format in Alpha Tracker. Rather, we take your report format and make the system produce your report. So that if you've come from another piece of software, or perhaps you've been producing the reports longhand just by typing them into Word or Excel, the reports that come out of Alpha Tracker will be identical to the reports that you've previously issued, and your clients shouldn't be able to tell whether you generated them through Alpha Tracker or you generated them the old way. So let's look at these 6 steps. First step is to book in a new customer. You only have to do this once for each customer, and it's just a case of giving the customer a code, a name, you put in their address, you put in their contact name, let me just type one in here, and telephone number, email address, that sort of thing. That just books the customer in. If you have an accounts package or your customer list on a spreadsheet, we can import that for you automatically so that you don't have to key them in manually. That books the customer in, and from that point you're then ready to book the job in. Now you do this back at the office, you don't do this when you're on site. So as soon as you receive the order for the survey or inspection or project management, you book that straight in. Screen pops up, and essentially you're just filling in a few bits of information. There are lots of fields available here, and as you get to know the software, you'll use more and more of them. The first thing you do is get the system to give you a job number. Then you tell the system who it is that's responsible for the job, where it is you're working, what type of work you're doing, and you can see here we have a very comprehensive list of environmental services, how much the job is worth, and here we have dates allowed to track the system, your contact details for the job, who's going to get the invoice, who's going to get the report, all of the financial details about the job, and finally you have some notes boxes which you can use to record any other notes about the project. Once the job's booked in, you're then ready to do the survey. Now the survey can be done on pretty much any smartphone sized device or any tablet sized device. Now what I have here is a Sony Xperia Android phone. Here I have a Samsung Galaxy Note tablet. We also support all Apple devices. So you can pretty much choose from any Android or any Apple smartphone or tablet. That means iPads, iPad minis, iPhones, Samsung Galaxy Notes, even Android smart cameras work really well with our system. You can mix and match. Now the application that we use there, the app that we designed, was actually the first app to be used in the UK to do on-site data capture. We introduced that to the UK, and at the point of doing this video, I think we've captured more than 25 million items of data through the app. So it's an extraordinarily large amount of information that's gone through the app, which has enabled us to fine-tune it over the years to be the most efficient and effective app available for field staff today. The data is captured, the photos are captured all through the app, one button click to upload that information back to the server, and the surveyors get a couple of emails immediately to confirm that the data has been sent and received. The next step is simply to check the data. So there's a screen available within the system so that admin staff, all the surveyors, can check the information and photos that have been sent through. It comes up in a sort of spreadsheet format on the screen, searchable, sortable, so that information can be checked. You can see at a glance there we have a red row. That means it's a no access room. So it's very straightforward for any information that needs to be updated just to be overkeyed at this point on the PC. Then the fifth step of 6 is to enter the lab results. This is where you'd have had your lab certificate come through. Again, you just type in the job number or search for it if you don't know the job number, and that then enables you to enter the lab results into the system, and at that point you're essentially ready to produce the report. Now, if you have your own lab, obviously you won't be needing to do this stage separately. You'll be using the lab menu to record the results, produce your box certificate, and update the survey. So finally, producing the report. And how does this work? Well, as I mentioned, it's your report format, not ours. So we customize Alpha Tracker to produce your report format, and what comes out at the other end will be your report for your clients, not our report format. It's just a case of clicking the button. What happens is the server produces either a draft or final report for you, generates it for you, and then emails you the report for you to check and then issue. Comes through in 2 formats. It comes through in a Word document and as a PDF. The Word document is there so that you can change anything you need to. You have full control over that final document. The PDF is there just in case if it's ready to go, great, you can just issue it without any changes at all. But just to underline there, you do actually have full control over that document because it comes through in Word and PDF. So that's then issued. You can email it to your client if you want to. You can, of course, use our built-in portal. Now, if I log in and just show you what that looks like, within Alpha Tracker, there is a client portal. This would be branded to your company. So you'd have your company logo here. You would have your client's logo here. And your client then can log in and see all of the work you've done for them. They see it in the form of a site list and compliance summary. They see it in the form of a grid of properties. They see graphically the asbestos data that's been captured, and also a list of all the reports you've issued. And they can download the PDFs directly from here. They can also download the plans, which can be hotspotted, view live registers, and upload documents for you. All information, by the way, in the system is mapped automatically, so your clients can also view their data through Google Maps. They can also use the system, the portal system, to share policy and procedure documents, training documents, even documents about approved contractors. So it really is a management portal for asbestos environmental data, and not just a means of downloading the PDFs, although that's a very important use of it. Now, you have full control over the portal. You allocate users, you allocate passwords, you decide who can log in, who can log out, and obviously your clients can view their access and their access logs, so they can issue passwords to contractors, for example, and make sure that contractors are logging into the system before they attend site. This is a built-in part of the software. There's no extra charge for it, and you are in full control of your portal. So there we go. There's Alpha Tracker's 6 steps to producing an asbestos report, and I hope that's shown you how quick and easy it is. So I think it's time for a quick summary. So Alpha Tracker, it's web-based, built on our heritage since 2006 of being the leading asbestos software provider. We are able to support our customers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week because of our offices in the UK and Australia. We do have a real heritage in this industry, but this is the latest technology. This is technology that's absolutely current, uses all of the industry standards in terms of security to give you the fastest possible and the most secure system available. And obviously another strength of ours, as I mentioned out on site, is that you can mix and match handsets. You can use smartphones, you can use tablets, small tablets, large tablets, smart cameras, anything from Android, anything from Apple. Obviously when you're out on site you do not need an internet connection. You can work entirely offline. All data is mapped in the system. and that's Alpha Tracker for you. If you need to know anything more about the system, it's really easy to find out more information. Just go onto Google and type Alpha Tracker, and you'll find all the information that you need there about Alpha Tracker, whether you're based in the UK, Australia or New Zealand. Thanks very much for watching. I hope that was very useful.